So hey guys, Jaleese here. Of course, in this tutorial we will be making a fabric rose, fabulous rose. So let's get started. In order to make the rose, the first thing you would need, of course, you would need 2 pieces of this fabric here. You need 2 pieces here. So 2 pieces, you see I have 2 pieces here. So 2 pieces of fabric. So how to get this fabric on, let me show you, right? So I just have one as a sample here to show you as I go along. So for this one here, you want to get, you can get 1 piece of fabric and then you cut it, you got another one exactly like a circle. So what I have here, I have 1 piece of fabric here, 9 inch by 9 inch, okay? So 9 by 9, so roughly 9 by 9 inches, right? You pretty much you want 2 circles, but we're gonna do 1 at a time. And then you could take this one that you did and cut out the other one, okay? So I'm gonna take my thing here and I'm just gonna match it up. I'll fold it together. So 9 by 9, so it doesn't really matter lengthwise, it doesn't really matter crosswise which one you wanna fold it by. But you just wanna fold them up neatly, that's the goal. Right? And you could iron this, of course, to kind of keep it down nicely, right? Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna take our tape measurement and then you could determine how much you want. If you wanna go 4 inches down from your peak here, you go 4 inches down, right? You could go 4.5 inches down. So that's what I did here. So hopefully my fabric would obey me and stay down nicely. Put 1 piece here and hopefully it doesn't disturb. Okay, so I'm gonna just go 4.5 inches down. 4.5 inches down is like right there. So that's why I make it 9. So I can get like exactly what I need, right? So 4.5 inches down. So you just do your circle. Again, you could go 5 inches down. If you go 5 inches down, probably you want to make a 10.5 inch by 10.5 inches. All depends. If you want to go smaller, then you probably would, you know, go 8 by 8 inch fabric, and then you could connect it down. So this is not, you have to follow my measurement. This is just to show you how easy it is that to make, all right? And if you want it bigger or smaller, you have the choice. So now I'm just gonna nicely slice around my lines here. Hopefully they will come out nicely. If not, okay. Then voila, you have 1. Then you want to cut another piece, okay? So by you cutting another piece, then you have 1, you have 2, for instance, right? And then what you want to do, so then I have my 2 piece here. You also want to have interfacing. Interfacing is good. Now, if you don't have interface, don't worry about it. This is May 26, 2000, and we are in 2021. I do have interfacing on sale there. At least if you buy through my of course through me directly, it's $5 Canadian a yard plus the shipping. So that's if you around this time watching this video, I do have interfacing. So yes, you could actually get interfacing to match this. So we'll get 2 pieces of interface and then you would put it on the inside, okay, of your circle. So in this case here, I iron my interface on the inside. So we have interface here, it's adhesive, so it's thick, and this is the outside. Okay, all right, so that's one thing you have to do. The next thing you have to prepare now is your fabric here, okay? And then we would go on the machine and do some preparation of those things here. This is your fabric here. So my fabric here, I have now the width is about 4 inches, and then the length now I have. So usually, sometimes when I'm making the rose, I need more, I need less. So I have, let me show you what I have here for the length. Okay, so it's about the, okay, so I have 109.5 inches. So in the video here, eventually I end up using about 140 inches in length. Depends, like I said, all depends on how you make the roll. So that was the amount I use in total. Now we'll be preparing this fabric on the machine. There's several ways you could prepare this fabric, right? And we'll be going on the machine to prepare it. So what I would do, one way we could do, we could just sew it down like this and then turn it with a pin, okay? And then we're gonna iron it down. So I have a pin here. I'll go on the machine and you will see how I will prepare that, okay? So lastly, what we want to do here, we want to actually make a point for our rows, right? So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to fold this back like this, just to kind of get the middle. I just fold it back like this, and I'll just take a pin and just tip it in the middle here, just a little tip, right? And I'll open it back and make sure I get the tip of my, okay. And this marking, I want to do it on the outside of the fabric, right? Like this one, I did it on the outside of the fabric. So you want to do a marking like this on the outside of the fabric, okay? Not on the inside. So now this is pretty much your taste here, but this is freehand. So that's why I say it all depends on how much you need to go around. So this is pretty much freehand. So just try your best to kind of go around. That's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm just going around. I have my chalk, or you could have a marker or something, and you go around. If you want a perfect circle, then you may have to take your time, because I'm just going round and round. What you could do now, you could actually, if you want to estimate, you could actually just go 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch spacing. But I'm just going round and round. Just take your time and go around. Take your time. Sometimes you make mistake with the line. I may probably make it a little bit bigger, smaller, but again, you're making the circle going round and round, so sometimes it doesn't really matter too much. The goal is that you get the style, and no one would know if you make a perfect circle around, yes or no. Nobody would know that. And then of course you would see once we sew, because no one would be seeing this line anyway. So just make a line that you could actually see, and you go round and around. You could go bigger as well. I could actually even space it out. Right? If you want to go 3/4 inch away from 1 inch away, it all depends on what thing you want to make. So there's no right or wrong way to make this lines here. That's why you see mine is not looking perfect. However, you just have to make them. Just go ahead and make them. Go around, go around, go around, go around. And of course, when we sew, we need about a 1/2 inch stitch around. So I'm gonna probably stop around here, and you would see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I am almost coming to the end. I'll stop around here. I'll probably just stop right here, around here. So you see, there's no perfect line, right? I'm gonna just start here, and then I'm gonna come around, or maybe I can just come probably a little around here, maybe. Yep. Yeah, I think I'm okay there. So I start here and then I come around. Yep. So that's pretty much it. So the thing is here, I stop here, but what I'm gonna go ahead and do, some of the line would be sewn in anyways, and you would see what I'm talking about, but we just prepare it first. Then we're gonna sew them together, and then you would see. So this is what I'm talking about here. So I have my lines here already make it, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put right sides touching right side. So I'm gonna go on the machine. So this is my right side, the outside. I'm gonna take this, the outside, the right side. Maybe I'm gonna say the interface is on this side and on that side, right? So I'm gonna cover them right sides touching right side like this. Okay, and I'm gonna take my pin and I'm gonna pin it and pin it all the way around, leaving an opening. Okay, so I'm just gonna pin it all the way around, all the way around, and I will definitely leave an opening because I want to turn it around, and then I'm going to iron it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, wherever I'm leaving my opening, I'll just leave a double pin so I would remember remember that it don't move beyond that border. There you go. So just put a double pin here. I'll space out this pin a little bit further. Okay, something like this. So it's my double pin there. Come here. And come here. Okay, good. All right. So now we'll go on my machine and do 1/2 inch stitch from here all the way around, all the way around, all the way around here, and then I'll stop. And then I would also go ahead and sew this down, right side touching right side. So this is the right side. I'm going to turn it like this, and I'm going to sew it down. And then I'll come back and we're going to iron. Okay, so we're going to start. So I am going to do a 1/2 inch stitch. right? Just half an inch stitch. I'm gonna start by my double pin here, and then I'm gonna just gonna half an inch all the way around nicely. Just have to take your time. And I'm done. Okay, so I have my opening nicely there. Okay, so now we will be doing the band now. All right, so just make sure right side's touching right. So this is the right side of the fabric. That's everyone will see the outside, and this is the inside. Okay, so the inside is touching the table, the right side is looking at me. I'm gonna touch right side to right side like this, and then I'm gonna sew it down. And I'm not gonna sew it down half an inch, it's just quarter of an inch. I'm gonna sew down because I want it to turn it nicely. So I'm just gonna sew it down. And I'm just gonna finish it. Now you could go ahead and pin it down, of course. I just didn't want to pin it down. So now I would speed up the video a bit just to complete it. So what I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna just leave this here just in case if I need extra fabric. Again, there's no right or wrong. You have to get this amount of measurement and stick with it. It's a kind of you know, sometimes you have enough, sometimes you don't. So I leave this open here so I didn't sew it down. So what I'm gonna do here, just take my pin and push it down. Let's just pull it out. Okay, so we're now on the other side. Okay, so what I will do here now, I'll go ahead and iron it on the iron. And now for this one now, what we're gonna do for our rows, see our rows here, we're just gonna nip the edge all the way around. So you're not gonna cut down to the thread, of course. You're just gonna nicely nip it down nicely as you go along. Some people would actually even cut out a lot of the seam allowance as well, but just nip it down so you get that nice flexibility when we turn it. Okay, so all right. Then we're gonna take our time and we're gonna turn it. So when you turn, you just want to straighten it up nicely. Okay, all right. And you see what I said? Eventually we'll be losing some of the, depends on how we like the edge here, but that's fine. Okay, so what I would go now, I'll go on my iron, and I'm just gonna iron everything down, and then we'll come back and finish our stuff. Okay. Okay, so now that we're here, I am just gonna fit, this is the opening here, right? So I'm just gonna fit, make sure my opening stay nicely. Just gonna play around with it because it's an opening, you still want it to kind of look oval, like a circle. So I'm just gonna play around, try to close it up nicely here. All right. Something like that. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna iron it. Just gonna iron it flat. Make sure everything's settled, of course, right? All right, so the next thing we're gonna do here is that we are gonna iron this. And again, it would have some standby just in case if you need. Just in case if you need. I'm gonna iron it like this. So just gonna have to make sure you poke out the lines as well. Poke out the sides as well, and then iron it up. Okay. Okay, remember we leave this just in case we may need to add more, depends. Okay, and then I have some needle and thread. We'll need it at the very end. Okay, so we are gonna go on the machine now. With this, we're gonna start our sewing, and then we will be working on getting our fabric rolls completed. Okay, so the first thing I will do now is just fold this part in down. All right, I'm just gonna fold it down in preparation. And sew it down. So fold it in just to kind of get a clean edge. So when I'm ready to start, right, and then I just hold it here. Okay, so here now, I would start. So I will start. You know what? I will start here because I want to close in my edges here. I don't want to forget them. So I'm just gonna start here to close my edge. Okay, and then I'm just gonna follow one of my lines here. Right, so I'll just close my edge here. Okay, so now I'm gonna start, so from just right here actually, because I see I have a line right here, so I'll just start right here. So now we're just following our line as a guide. So what I would do here, I'm just gonna fold this in. You could fold it backward. So I'm just gonna have a slanted here. I just slant it like this. See what I did here? Just slant it like this. And I'm gonna start right here, okay? So I'm going to start with a full. So as I go, I'm going to actually pleat my line. So you could actually pleat it both ways. You could go this way or you could go that way. So I'll be just doing little pleats as I go along. And then I'm making sure that I sew over my fold. Okay, so as I go along, I'm going to make folds. And the line is just my guide. Okay, so I'm going to come all the way on the edge here where my line is. So I'm just spacing out the fold. You could make the fold bigger if you want, like do the spacing. So let me just kind of give you a guide of how much spacing I have right now. So roughly I have about around 2 inches. Every 2 inches I sort of make another fold. You could go 1.5, you could go 3 inches. So it's you just play around with it, right? That's the cool thing with sewing. So always play around with something, get the hang of it, make another one. You know what I mean? So as you can tell, I didn't make any perfect lines here. It's all about, you know, trial and error. Try your best, that's all. So now I'm just continuing following my lines here. So sometimes you will find a little pucker, that's fine. Just sew them over. That's what makes sewing so fun. So I'm just gonna follow one of my lines here. Okay. So again, I'm not measuring the casing. So you could just average with your eyes to see, okay, how much I sew before I do another pleat, right? So yeah, that's it. So I'm coming around here now. So kind of going inside now. Imagine making this and giving it as a gift. Oh my goodness, people will like go ballistic. It's like, wow, where did you buy it? I made it. And then they'll start ordering because they want more, right? So there you go. That's the cool thing about sewing. Okay, so if you look here, I'm kind of, see, I'm only following my lines. And I'm sort of spacing it out. So what I'm gonna come between here. Okay. So the line is my guide. It's just my guide. So just follow the process I showed you. And keep in mind, you gotta be going around and around and around, right? So just gonna leave this up here. Okay, so I'm seeing my end clear in sight. And my rose is looking so good. Okay, so I'm gonna leave up a little to get my angle good. All right. Still following my lines, guys. My lines. Just want to make sure I get on the fold. Come back on the lines here. So I'm coming to the end. It's you just have to take your time and work it because remember the circle it's smaller now, right? So open it. So I'm almost there. I'll probably just do one more because I can't see any lines anymore, and then I'll just finish it out. That's it. Okay guys, we are done. All right, so this is how the back gonna be looking because you go around and around and around. All right, and this is how it is here. So I have some extra here, so I'm gonna just cut it a little bit here, just a little bit, a little piece here. And then what I'm gonna do here now, I'm just gonna fold it in, and this piece here I could actually just fold it in like this. You just have to play around with the closing now. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just fold it down and have it like this, and then that's where your needle and your thread would come in, right? So I would take my needle and I'll just poke it through here. Make sure I don't poke myself. And now I'm gonna try to nicely close my rows in now. All right, so I'm just gonna be basting, doing some basting stitch. That's it. Basting stitch. Basting hemming stitch because I'm not taking out the stitch, so I'm just gonna stitching it down. I'm just gonna be stitching it down and try to make sure that I get the middle part now to stay down nicely. See, I have it here. And everything is nicely hidden. So I'm just gonna push up one again here. So it's just a matter of closing it up now, and you just use your needle, your thread, and you play around with the closing part. All right, so that's it here. Continue playing around with it until I know it's really sealed. That once I cut the thread out, I'm all good. I have a big needle too, so. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this. I see how this is open up here. I'm gonna push my needle up. And I'm gonna take a little piece and just bring it down. There you go. I'm gonna bring this down again. Bring this up. Bring this down. Good. You see, I have my needle part looking like this. So I'm just gonna play around, pull around, see where I need to. So I see I need to bring this down. Just bring it down to the middle. Alright, then I'm gonna do another one to keep it down nice and steady. So all these here, keep in mind that no one would actually see the thread because you're doing it in a way that everything is just nicely tucked under, right? Nobody would see the thread here. So all we have to do is just keep on playing around, settle it nicely, make sure it looks really nice and pretty, right? So I'm liking everything around. Everything looks good. My stitching, no one is seeing my hidden threads. So I'm good. Okay. So once I think I'm okay here, so you have a nice little rose here. Fantastic little rose here. See, like I have this here. So there's no right or wrong way to end it. Once it come out rosy, that's the goal. See? All right, so once I'm done with this, what I will do is just tuck this here. So I'm just gonna do it a couple times to make sure the thread stays still. A couple times, and just to make sure it's still. And when you think it's still enough, then you just trim the thread out and your fabric rose is done. There you go. Fabulous rose.